Hey there, it's Jennifer from the blog The Everyday Farmhouse. Today we are going to be making shampoo bars. These are simple to make, just as easy as making a cold process soap. It's the actual exact same process. The difference with this is going to be I have 5% super fat, and I chose a lot of ingredients that are really great for your hair and scalp. The other step that makes this recipe a little special is that I infused the water with calendula and chamomile. So both of those are good for your scalp and they strengthen your hair follicles. So I'll go through the entire process with you step by step. I'll tell you what each oil does that's great for your hair, and I think you're gonna love these shampoo bars. So let's get started. All right, so to get started, of course, you need your safety gear. You need some safety glasses and rubber gloves. And I'm starting with the water this distilled water that I infused. I just heated it up a bit and put in some calendula and chamomile, just like a couple tablespoons of each, kind of made a tea essentially. And I try to get all of that out of there. Whenever I make soap, I measure out all my ingredients like this ahead of time with a million little cups. And I do this so I don't make any mistakes, because I'm almost always distracted and I have a big family, and so things are always going on. So this ensures I don't make a lot of mistakes. Here I'm putting the lye into the liquid. So I do this and then I set it aside. But you can see all my ingredients measured out there. I've got coconut oil, almond oil, avocado oil, olive oil, castor oil, and then argan oil. So we've got cleansing and lathering. The almond oil has vitamin E, which softens and conditions. I've got the avocado oil, which is deep, moisturizing for your scalp. The olive oil adds softness and shine. The castor oil, I try to put that in almost all the soaps that I make because it boosts the lather. And of course, castor oil, you know those hacks of putting it on your eyelashes and eyebrows. It's supposed to help hair grow because it helps the circulation in your scalp. The argan oil, it restores shine and repairs damage. And then the calendula and chamomile, they both are good for soothing your scalp and strengthening your hair follicles. So I measure out all those oils and I put them in a pot, and you can see the flies in my kitchen. They're so annoying. And then I heat that on the stove. I did something different, you'll notice this time. When I was making this soap, in my mind, well, this is a shampoo bar, but it's still considered a soap. It's the same process as cold process. In my mind, I thought the oils that I would like to be super fatted should go in after the main oils have saponified. So that's how I did it this time. I did some more reading afterward to see if my thinking on this was correct, and it's not. It does not matter if you save oils for the last and put them in like at trace or right before trace. The lye does not distinguish. It will eat up whatever it wants to eat up. I don't know that you can predict which oils will be left over. That's with cold process. My understanding is with hot process that you can do that, but from what I understand with cold process, it's not that way. So if I'm wrong, and you can correct me in the comments, that's fine. This is all about learning together. If I'm wrong, let me know. But so you'll see that I did it that way. What I should have done is just go ahead and mix all my oils together, rather than saving some for the end. The one thing that I did save for the end that was the right thing to do was the apple cider vinegar. That can accelerate trace. I honestly didn't notice that it accelerated it too badly, so you could easily dump it in with everything else. But technically, they say you should put it in when you're almost to trace, so that it just gets mixed in and doesn't accelerate things, and so you know what you're doing. You also would add your essential oils in at trace. I think I used bergamot. I can't tell right now from my bottle. I can't remember which one I put in. I'm pretty sure it was bergamot. But rosemary is really good for your scalp too. You can just put a few drops of essential oils in there to give it some fragrance. Otherwise, the calendula and chamomile really give it a nice, just kind of a really light, clean, florally fragrance. So here I am adding the essential oil in. At the very end, it's not quite to trace, but it's getting thicker. And so that's when you would add that in. So you're just going to mix this Always use an immersion blender. It just saves so much time, but I do go from pulsing to kind of stirring from time to time just to save on the motor. And so that's what you do. And then I made a half recipe with this one, and so that's why you'll see me here in a bit pour it into just a silicone mold rather than the big loaf pan that I usually use for soap. It's because I made a smaller batch because I wasn't sure I was gonna I have used shampoo bars in the past, and I have a friend who loves them, swears by them. I don't know if I'm a fan or not. I think it does a great job. My hair feels very, very clean afterwards. I still feel like I want to use a conditioner after it, and so that's something I might work on, is a conditioner bar. I love the fact that there's not packaging with this, that it's just something that you can have in the shower and you're not like emptying a bottle all the time. So I like that aspect of it, and I do think it cleans really well. Probably depending on your hair type, you might get away with not using conditioner with this. I washed my hair with it today. I didn't use conditioner. My daughter complimented me, said my hair looked nice. So I don't know. Maybe it's fine. It doesn't feel as maybe conditioned as I'm used to with using separate conditioner. But either way, it does a great job cleansing, and it is gentle enough you could use it on children, but I will say if you get it in your eyes, it does burn. So you still want to take precautions not to get it in your child's eyes if you're using it on them. So then you just pour it into the molds. You let it set up. With all these oils, I found that it's a little bit softer bar, and you might let it sit for 48 hours before you unmold it rather than just 24. I usually let mine sit for 24 and then unmold it, and then put it on a rack so that some air can circulate around it and it gets really good and dry. You'll definitely want to let these cure for the full 4 to 6 weeks because, like I said, it tends to be a little bit softer and it needs all that time to get really nice and solid and to produce a good long-lasting bar. And so that's it. You just use it like you would regular shampoo. You can lather it up in your hands first. I kind of rub it on my scalp when I'm using it. I think it lathers really nicely. Of course, if you're used to using shampoo that has like sodium lauryl sulfate in it, you're not going to get the same amount of lather out of this that you would out of something like that. It's just not happening with a natural product, and that's just something you have to get used to. But like I said, it left my hair feeling very nice and clean, and I don't doubt that it does a good job with that at all. So you can see the lather here. I think it's plenty to get your hair clean. And if you happen to make this and you don't love it for your hair, use it on your body. It's a super nice, gentle, nourishing bar of soap. And I hope that helps y'all out. Have a great day.